That was some hood ornament, huh?
Yeah, expensive. Probably have to feed it.
So, you look like you can handle both of us. We take all major credit cards, government checks.
Oh, girls, you disappoint me. You look so healthy.
Let's go.
Don't do that again.
Freeze! Hey, come some air!
Hey, she was trying to...
You gonna give me trouble?
No, sir, officer, not me.
But turn around, put your hands on the hood of the car. Now! What's your name?
Morris Fields.
Yeah, what's your address, Maury?
129 Palma Fresca. Just a couple, 3 blocks up there.
Listen, officer, I work for an art gallery. I'm an artist, and Mr. Field here is an old customer. He liked one of my paintings and said his checkbook was at home. I thought his wife would be, too.
Yeah, well, so do we have here. Attempted rape, possible assault.
Oh, come on.
Don't turn around!
Oh, yeah.
Maury, you have the right to remain silent.
Excuse me, I mean, officer, who's gonna press those charges? I'd just as soon forget about it. I'm sure my gallery would, too.
You may have prior arrests, miss. Maury, I want you to thank the lady, and then I want you to get the hell out of here.
Thank you.
I will never say there's never a cop around again. I mean, you know, when you need one.
You shouldn't drive.
My car is just around the corner.
Come on.
Her car was a wreck, and so was she. She didn't know or wouldn't give me her address, so I took her to mine. My first mistake, Alice. Name Laura Megan Cassidy, 404 Cliff Road, Malibu, in the upper limits of glitz. Yes, Alice, knowing that, I should have dropped her back on her own doorstep.
Thanks for bringing me home, officer.
I'm not a policeman.
I see you to the door, but I'm just...
Yeah, well, I live here.
Night, officer. Oh, sorry. I was using it to time my eggs. Hope you don't mind.
You have a light touch.
What time you go on duty?
I'm not a cop.
You had a gun.
That was my .32 caliber penny loafer. A private investigator.
Oh, that's wild. That's really wild. Private investigator from back east is looking for me.
How do you know I haven't been hired to find you?
My parents would never trust someone from California. Mom and Dad firmly believe that when I come to my senses and outgrow this childish pretension to art, I'll marry that nice young arbitrager from Harvard. He hasn't been indicted for insider trading yet.
What are these?
You have irises.
I do.
What's your name?
Thomas. Kyd, K-Y-D.
Well, Thomas, you may live to regret this. People don't seem to get very much out of knowing me.
Yeah, I looked in your purse. That rainbow of recreational drugs is not your best reference.
I'd almost be ready to believe my parents if a gallery in San Francisco hadn't shown some interest in my work. I sent them some slides. Top gallery. They want me to come up there.
So?
My work looks better on slides than it does on canvas.
If you're looking for an excuse to not try, you got plenty in your purse.
Airline tickets and hotels cost money. Mr. Field did not write that check last night. Just blow this out of my nose.
I don't. I distrust people for a living, and sometimes I fall off my diet. Just a minute! You'll say $200 was kind of high for a kiss, Alice, but she had the kind of beauty that always finds the world on its side, no matter what she's done or how many times she's done it. Then after I tell Laura Cassidy how much I trust her, I found out her real name is Eva Bomberg from New York. Now, when you're done chuckling, Alice, let's go to the McTavish file. Yesterday, June 26th, lunch, $3.95, dinner, $6, beverages, $20. By the way, you better confirm my reservations to Honolulu and Maui.
Good afternoon, Mr. Kyd.
Not that late. Maybe put a blouse on. Your probation officer's due any day.
Blouse?
I mean, I am your sponsoring adult.
Yes, sir, Mr. Kyd.
No, a street mime, M-I-M-E. See, each night he told you he was working, he was performing. Well, Mrs. McTavish, I know he's chairman of the board, but he likes to entertain people with pantomime. He's really rather good at it. No, he is not seeing another woman. He did not pay me off. What?
Wax up. Hurricane, moving off of Baja, cranking very clean waves, Malibu already 6 foot and glassy.
I have work to do.
You probably don't want to go up to Malibu anyway. Probably zooed out with dweebs already. A regular kind of a lumberyard. Can I go? Please? Surfing is a healthy, wholesome outdoor activity.
Hey, you're right.
Kyd, my name's Franklin Bando. This here is my associate, Chauncey. We're friends of Paul Cesari's.
Is that right?
Mr. Cesari is offering you gainful employment.
Paul Cesari, the movie mongrel?
Safety tip, watch your mouth. Now, Paul's rather upset. And when he gets upset, Chauncey and I get upset.
You ever try group therapy? That's funny.
This house is not far from here up on Cliff Road.
404?
Chauncey, this man's a detective.
The Seamus, I presume.
Yeah.
Raymond Kepler. Right this way. Paul is expecting you.
What's your capacity here, if I may ask?
Oh, about a half a fifth when I'm working and another half at home. Ah, but you mean my job. Well, I polish things, like cars and scripts. I'm a confidential clerk to the eminently creative Mr. Cesari.
Thomas Kyd, I hope.
And this highly functional literate is Ann Kepler, special assistant to Paul's agent.
How do you do, Mr. Kyd?
She's also my wife.
Mojo called again. Actually, he shouted how much you owe. This way, Mr. Kyd.
I want a cinematographer who is not afraid of shadow. Half this picture shoots night for night? Yeah, okay.
This is the private investigator, Thomas Kyd.
Paul Cesari, Tom. I understand you know Laura Cassidy.
Yeah, we met.
I'd say so. She was seen coming out of your house this morning. I won't ask how long that's been going on.
Just last night, and she slept on the sofa.
You know, I'm just about ready to believe that. I mean, being a cop, you can spot a heavy dope, or you just might actually put her on the sofa.
Is this why you got me up here?
I am genuinely concerned about Laura. She's confused. Special. Ann is going to write you a check for $500, Tom, after you tell us where Laura is.
Can't help you.
Can't?
She took a cab to the airport. She didn't say where she was going.
Knowing Laura, she didn't have any idea.
Send Tarzan down here.
I don't think that's wise.
I am not going to pay this bedroom bird dog more than $500, Ann.
This is our stuntman, Thomas. He crashes cars and falls out of windows on cue.
Sometimes he throws people off cliffs on cue. Morris, give this dip a twist. Show him who he's dealing with.
Paul.
Miss Sweeney doesn't leave here until I know where Laura is. Do it!
Give him the address, old boy.
Excuse me, Tarzan.
Now you hit me with your two best shots and then get the hell out of here.
Nicely done. Qualifies you for a round with Chauncey.
Yeah, well, you tell him I'll be in Hawaii.
Washing all this off.
When I got back from the islands, my answering machine was on overload. Calls from Laura. Now, you'd think 2 weeks of heavy surf would clear my head and make me smarter, but there she was. And there I was.
And that story about my rich parents searching desperately for me was just the standard lament of a lonely orphanage brat. The only family I have is my brother.
Yeah, where's he?
VA hospital.
What, Vietnam?
No, training accident. Helicopter caught fire. Everyone on board was killed except my brother. He's more of a mess than I am. What enough about me? How do you like my painting? It's an iris.
Oh.
I painted it when I was in the drug clinic. Van Gogh and I just do our best work in rehab, you know?
You look a whole lot better.
Well, all my newfound health is due to that one kiss that morning on your front porch.
I was hoping for another installment myself, until I met a few more of your friends and lovers.
If you mean Paul, he was just somebody to cling to. I will never be that desperate again in my life.
In Morsefield?
Morris is just my unofficial brother.
So that was just a little bit of sibling rivalry I saw, huh?
Well, sometimes he thinks he's in love with me. Look, we were both high that night. It was a sleazy scene. I was a sleazy chick. Besides, Morris is in jail again.
Dope bust?
Oh, he and Paul had a car accident. Paul took off and left 10 grams of coke in the glove compartment. And he's not doing anything to get Morris out. That's why I really need to leave. I'm worried about what Morris might do to Paul if he makes bail. Sorry. Visiting hours are over.
Well, don't be sorry. You ran out of truthful things to say anyway.
What did I leave out?
Your passport. The one in the name of Eva Baumberg.
Thomas, could I come over Sunday morning and make you eggs Benedict and we could talk about Eva Baumberg?
I was wondering what happened to my extra key.
Hold me, please. Just hold me.
My name is Thomas. I'm your waiter this morning. The Sunday special is southern fried catfish. And eggs Benedict for me. Nobody's interested in what you think of her, Josephine. You're a woman. You have claws.
Thomas, Kyd? My name's Marcus, Lieutenant, Homicide, Sheriff's Department.
Yeah, so?
I have only a couple of questions.
That's good, because I have only a couple of minutes.
What other weapons do you own besides a Walther P.38?
Well, I have an Hawaiian sling in the garage.
Where were you between 10 o'clock and 12 last night?
Here.
Anyone verify that?
Josephine. My cat.
Is it written in a P.I.'s diploma that you have to wise off to cops?
Lieutenant, I'm just not a morning person.
Well, I take it you haven't read the morning papers. Paul Cesari was murdered last night.
So why are you talking to me?
You've been described as a close companion of his wife, Laura Cassidy, our prime suspect. You wouldn't know where she is, would you? No, I guess you wouldn't.
I'm waiting.
Last night, I had a big argument with Paul just before one of his endless parties. I told him our marriage was in the final stage, just terminal. He doubled up on the coke with all of his friends, the usual producers, directors, starlets. Kind with wheels on their heels. He had one of those under his arm when he grabbed me and announced to everyone that we were going upstairs for a threesome, spectators admitted free. He told everyone that I was the queen of the swap meets, and I threw a drink in his face. I told him I was leaving him. He just laughed and said that he had the key to my cage, and all I could do was rattle it.
What's that mean?
That means that a friend of mine killed a street dealer in New York. I was there. I was an accessory. Paul's been holding it over my head.
Is that when you were Eva Baumberg?
I'm still wanted.
I need some coffee.
After the scene with Paul, I went out to get my car, but it was blocked in by all the others, so I went into Paul's office to call you. I wasn't expecting to see him sitting at his desk. Or the knife in his chest. He was coughing blood. I tried to pull the knife out, but I couldn't.
Oh, so that would explain why your fingerprints are on the knife, right?
It's the truth.
Oh, yes. Your specialty.
Gina, one of Paul's bimbos, was knocking at the door. I flashed on how that was going to look, so I ran straight into the glass door. Just as Gina was walking in, she saw me.
Well, I'd say you are the prime suspect, grade A. You need at least one lawyer, maybe three.
What I need is my passport.
What's my IQ right now? How the hell did I get into this?
Thomas, I have got to get out of the country. You met Chauncey and Bando. They don't wait for trials or listen to lawyers. Frankie Bando is from the people who forgive nothing.
Go on, just go. I only have about 100.
No, what I need is a way to the airport without being followed.
You are not going to be happy till you make me an accessory. I lose my license and go back to plumbing.
You're right. I'll call a cab.
Thomas, you're not going to believe this. Somebody stole the big palm tree right out of my front yard. Police laughed, of course. Now, I want to discuss your accounts. How am I supposed to be your bookkeeper if we never talk? So put a mobile phone in that GD truck of yours, or your dear Aunt Alice will.
Mr. King? I'm Dick Slandau. I represented Paul Cesari. I believe you've already met my personal assistant, Ann Kepler.
Yeah. Her husband, also a personal assistant to the highly regarded and dearly departed.
None of us would try to persuade you that Paul was a decent human being, Mr. Kyd. He was monstrous, but profitable. Without screenwriters, you see, our industry would dry up.
You mean that nose packer was a writer?
The best. Enormously creative.
Well. What brings you here?
My husband's missing. Raymond has wandered off before to work on his own plays. I'm hoping it's just not something connected to his gambling debts. He's borrowed from loan sharks recently, several.
And you have reason to be worried.
We're hoping he's finishing up the script. The final draft hasn't been finished. Raymond knew what Paul had in mind. We just discovered this morning that it's missing.
The script is missing? Weren't you about to start shooting this thing?
Exactly. It disappeared the day before it was to be distributed to the casting crew.
Don't you have other copies?
Paul was very secretive.
How do you make a movie without a script?
That's why we need you. Our financial backers are adamant about this being made. A potential gross of $55 million is in jeopardy.
You know, for a moment there, I thought it was Raymond you were worried about.
I am worried. Desperately. I will be quite relieved to just get him back.
Why me?
Raymond spoke of you with some respect.
If nothing's happened to him, and he's merely being difficult, he might listen to you, Mr. Kyd. I've been married to him for 15 years. I want no other husband but him for the rest of my life.
I'll need, these bank statements, old checks, credit card receipts.
You'll have them this afternoon.
Thank you.
I trust you're smart enough to be careful when it comes to Laura. She's dangerous, you see.
Race at Hollywood Park. The 5-horse, always for pleasure, paid $5.40 to win, $3.80 to place, and $3.20 to show. The 2-horse, Phoenix Rising, paid $3.30 and $2.20. The 6-horse, Billy's Jan, paid $2.40 to show. For race 6 at Hollywood, it was the 3-horse, Raving Maiden.
And a beef or martini straight up?
Well, hello. The ethical sleuth. Fancy running into you.
Wasn't that fancy? You ran up a few tabs here, Raymond, and your wife's worried about you.
Yes, well, we all have our torment, don't we? Yours is Laura.
Tell me about Paul Cesari. I mean, he struck me as a guy who enjoyed having a few enemies.
Legions. They could walk 4 abreast with Maury Field in the front.
Tarzan? Wasn't he in county lockup?
I know Laura bailed him out the day of the party. She sold some of her jewelry to do it. Sweet thing. She even offered me money so that I could write.
Is that what you're doing now, finishing the script?
The Eradicator, Paul Cesari's forthcoming smash hit. That script? Well, sad to say.
Yo.
Where'd he go?
Who?
Guy smoking these.
Is your name Mojo?
You tell Raymond.
Don't do that.
That he's about to bleed. Tell him.
I said, don't do that.
Now, how much does he owe you? How much?
About 40 large. No, you're a little crazy. So am I. You haven't seen crazy yet.
Landau file, the 18th. Trying to find Rambling Raymond before Mojo does. At one of Raymond's favorite liquor stores, he had a charge account because they delivered to his address in Venice. Right around where you rented me my first surfboard, Alice, so I could break my nose.
Raymond!
Tell me if this hurts.
Oh, it hurts. Oh. Where were you?
Look, old boy, if you're going to intercede in these matters, I can't be responsible.
Let me up. What are you responsible for? Besides loan sharks who bash your visitors.
Not much, actually, when you come to it.
Looks like I came between you and your work. Hope you'll be able to finish the script with that.
I'm not working on the script. I don't have the bloody script, nor would I if I did. And I'm rather disappointed that you don't consider me a major suspect in the murder of Paul Cesari.
Well, if you come up with a list of motives, maybe you'll make it up into the top 10.
I was an assistant professor of modern drama, writing the obligatory stage plays that would establish me as another Arthur Miller. Then Paul Cesari came through the film school, having taken some of my courses, none of which he understood.
But he understood film, and he talked you into writing his screenplays.
At 100,000, 200,000 a script, more than enough for me to abandon my literary principles.
Did you write all of Cesari's scripts?
He would come up with a concept, and I would then soil 125 pages of perfectly clean paper.
And you let him take the credit?
He settled some of my more egregious debts. In return, Paul had increased stature. Some producers, like some directors, have a pathological desire to be known as writers.
What's this damn script about?
The Eradicator is exactly what it promises. An international vigilante lays waste to evil men and treacherous women. High-tech dreck.
Would anybody benefit if this movie was not made?
Only Western civilization.
Come on, Raymond. Your wife's worried sick about you. Looks like you're in for more questions.
Hey, Lieutenant, having a nice day, are you? This is California. You're required to. You have some questions for me, do you?
Not today.
You know, you really make me uncomfortable. Were you ever a psychiatrist?
Who did that?
I didn't see him. I'm guessing it was a loan shark named Mojo. He was after Kepler. I walked into it when Raymond was out.
You know, the airline tells me that a Laura Cassidy flew to Honolulu. You'll be sure to tell me if she comes back, won't you?
You'll be the first to know, Lieutenant.
I want to get some stitches in that ear. Looking like boiled cabbage.
Morris Field had the motive, but did he also have the script?
You're always putting your nose in things, aren't you? If this is a hideout, you better take down your sign. What do you mean? I told your guild I had a residual check. They said 1559 Chesterton.
Wow, what happened to your head?
That's a good question. Is that the script?
No.
No.
This is the Paul Cesari story. Story of a rich kid who rose to his own slum, backed only by syndicate megabucks and muscle.
You better call a guild and change your address.
Nobody knows I've written it, except Dick's Landau. You come back in a couple hours, I'll have a copy for you as insurance.
Is Landau gonna buy it?
If he doesn't, the National Enquirer will. People owe me. They owe me. And it's all in there. The whole story about what I did for Paul Cesari Films.
And Laundrette Company?
Hey, you're a college graduate or something? How'd you figure that out?
Met Bando. What kind of money do they wash in these films?
How they skim. They take 10 to 20% of their cash from the casino, put it in a big budget Cesari production. I don't know how the rest of it works.
You sure you want to go through with this?
I said I made a few copies. I mean, look, man. Look. I mean, I got no car. I got no license. You see, when Paul had a wreck, I slipped behind the wheel, huh? And when his stars needed some dope, guess who the pack mule was, huh? I took $3 for his habit. He was gonna leave me in lockup on this last one. His Laura posted bond.
She was worried about you. What'd you mind do when you got out?
Hell, yes, she was. She thought I was gonna do the flamenco on Paul's head. But somebody else came up with a better idea, didn't they? Yeah.
Left Laura the prime suspect.
Yeah. She ought to be out of the country. That's where she ought to be if she's smart.
What do you mean?
I mean, she's still killing.
Where is she?
I don't know. Look, I'm gonna be done with this. A couple hours. Come back at noon.
Okay. Glad you had a lot of medicines, not heavy wheels. I have a few questions for you myself. What the hell you think you're doing?
Wait a minute. What are you gonna do, kill me? Over a birthday gift?
What?
Your aunt wanted it to be a surprise.
Sorry. A cup of coffee?
No thanks. I'm awake.
Yeah. Okay, wait. Laura Cassidy was definitely on the plane, and there was no Eva Bomberg from Honolulu to Sydney. You sure? Yes, Alice. I know what today is, and thank you very much for the damn mobile phone. No, I mean it. By the way, did you, check the VA hospital for Laura's brother, Carl?
Bomberg, Carl?
Yeah.
It's in the PTS section, 310.
That's post-traumatic stress. He's not a Vietnam vet. You sure that name is spelled B-O-M-B?
E-R-G. Carl with a C. His visiting list is restricted, doctor's permission only.
Could you see if you could contact his doctor? I'll wait.
Last week I was playing gin rummy with him. This week he doesn't even know me. He's totally out of it.
We do have therapy for psychologically induced paralysis.
God, I hope so. He will walk again, won't he?
It may take quite a while.
As long as it works.
Excuse me, will you be here tomorrow? See you.
Once again, that was more than I imagined it would be.
My imagination could never come up with that.
Nice to know we can have some more.
Can we? Keep waiting for that door to come off its hinges. Bando knows how to track people.
That's why I got on that plane. Waited until they were ready to shut the door. Everyone thinks I went. I will eventually. Something wrong? You're still wondering if I killed Paul, aren't you?
What's in Australia?
Room to paint. And a gallery that belongs to a friend of Maury's.
Maury. Supposed to be over there half an hour ago. You're not going anywhere, are you?
I don't have the strength.
I wish I had a bookmark.
To be continued.
Are you gonna be here?
Comfortable? Want a cigarette?
No, I'm fine.
This is fine?
Okay, Thomas. Suppose you tell me about Maurice Field. Maurice? Morris Field. How you happen to be here at this particular moment in time.
He was writing an account of the dirty chores that he did for Paul Cesari. He was going to show it to me around
Do you? Well, Morris was writing an expose?
He was going to blackmail someone.
Someone you know, Thomas? Someone you work for?
You don't think we can hold you and watch your beard grow?
If the DA doesn't mind cross complaints, wrongful detention, deprivation of civil rights.
Brother, Thomas, come on. Come on. What do you think, Arnie? You think we should have him lecture down at the Academy this week? Private eye to the stars, brings glitzy new insights into civil rights?
Somehow, I don't think they'd be interested in listening to a keyhole peeper with a criminology degree from Berkeley. They'd rather hear a used car salesman lecture on ethics.
Or a redneck cop on proper interrogation.
He's not allowed to do that. You know the only problem with police brutality? Got a bad press. People don't realize how well it really works. I mean, it really works. You know, like bran flakes. You get your results, your answers, and you get them right now. Leads. Good, solid leads. Come on, Thomas. Thomas, I'm gonna take you downtown. Arnie. Arnie's a throwback to the old school. Plus his toilet overflowed this morning. Police brutality.
The plumber's friend.
You stood him off pretty well.
If you hadn't have been there, he'd have turned my brain pan around.
Well, he doesn't go much for this client privilege stuff. Particularly the Galahad routine you're running. I mean, you're like Lancelot protecting Guinevere. Except you ride up and fall off your horse. You get conned into an ambush, lured into finding a corpse. You got one foot in a wastebasket and the other one on a banana peel.
Hey, I'm thinking about taking a vacation.
If I were you, I'd buy a bomb-proof condo in Antarctica. Morris's killing may have been a syndicate hit.
Is that what you think?
Powder burns, base of the skull. Execution style, it would appear. Ordinarily, the weapon of choice is a little .22 with a silencer. The caliber of this weapon's heavier than that, but I think we're splitting hairs on that one. If I'm gonna do all the talking, you can buy the next round.
I saw two guys come out of Thiel's apartment. A weasel from Vegas named Frankie Bando, about 35. The other was a Chauncey something, bone crusher, probably pumped iron at Rancho San Q. Driving a BMW Silver.
License?
Nevada 259T8H. They were in the casino business. They backed all of Cesari's movies, laundry job. I think maybe they came looking for the missing script. Found Morris writing about their operation. He needed money to beat a dope charge.
So we are talking syndicate. I just don't know where that leaves Paul Cesari. His murder was more an act of rage.
Could leave us with two different killers, two different motives.
Your lovely Laura could shed some light on all this.
Thanks for the drink, Marcus.
I'll be seeing you.
Empty rooms leave lots of questions, Alice. Maybe Dix Landauer and Kepler had some answers. Mileage, 17.
Oh, may I help you?
Yeah, I'm Thomas Kyd. I'd like to see either or both of them.
Well, they have meetings and conference calls, I'm afraid. The earliest would be, let's see, 5 o'clock. Can you come back then?
I drink beer at 5.
Well, what about 6?
I feed my cat. You know, she's Burmese. If I'm not there, she may eat one of the neighbor's dogs.
Thomas! Come in, come in. I thought I heard your voice.
We're estimating 52 days shooting. We're already in pre-production.
Terrible thing. I don't know what to say. He was such a fine
Stuntman and mule. I understand that, you spoke to him Tuesday.
Yes. He had a diary he wanted me to read. He has great stories. A colorful career as stunt double to major stars.
Colorful raps that he took for Paul Cesari. Were you ready to see all that published and your client's financial backing?
Certain amount of editing is always judicious.
What are your chances of finding that script, Mr. Kyd?
Isn't Raymond able to remember it?
Yes, but progress is slow, and we have rehearsals in 3 weeks.
3 weeks? You promised that.
Everything is in place, Dix. If Mr. Kyd could locate the material as quickly as he found Raymond, I can keep this moving.
Don't you people have earlier versions that Raymond could work from?
Early drafts were shredded and burned by Paul personally.
Film ideas are that valuable.
This one was. Paul was certain the Eradicator would propagate sequels. Eradicator 2 through 5 at least.
As I understand it, this script was just about another international assassin.
He is a patriot of exceptional IQ, psychologically imprinted to kill, in spite of his moral background.
How on earth could you promise people a finished script?
Dix, we're paying some of the crew already, the set designer, wardrobe, location scouts. The clock is ticking.
Yeah, 2 of your friends have been murdered. And it's just ho-hum business as usual. Hooray for Hollywood. I don't know if I'm going to be able to find your script for you. Sounds like a comic book anyway.
You mean you're bowing out of this?
No.
And what?
If I'd have picked Morris up when I was supposed to, he might still be alive.
Or you might be dead.
Discuss money with Raymond for Sleepwalker. Probably another loan shark. At the back of the Eradicator file was a scribbled story. The Art of Darkness. Yes?
Thomas, a neighbor saw a large truck and crew steal my palm tree. Took him half a day.
You mean we have a tree napper loose in our community?
I want my tree back, Tommy.
I'll get to it.
Date palms are worth money.
That'll be my next case, Alice. This is Thomas Kyd saying my next date is with a palm, okay? Alice? Alice, you hold on a minute. Alice, I want you to call Lieutenant Marcus immediately. Tell him, I'm being followed by the two suspects from Vegas. He can meet me at the parking garage at Pico and Pacific.
I've been calling tree companies. Mine may have been a Senegal date palm, Thomas. Very rare. Now, let's talk about your expenses. I keep seeing $2.95 and $4.95 for meals. You've got to pay attention to your three basic food groups, and I don't mean burgers, shakes, and fries. You think I scrimped and saved to see you clog up your organs with arteriosclerosity?
It isn't Tweety Pie and Fungus Humongous.
Nice lady. Does she iron your socks for you, Tommy? I bet she doesn't do what this lady does for you. I was just telling Chance that it's true. We don't take time to smell the flowers.
I'm surprised he didn't eat them.
Oh.
That was not nice. Take a seat, mighty mouth.
First off, I want to tell you why we don't like you. We like Paul Cesari. About a year ago, I lost another previous friend in a similar grievous manner. I spent $20K of my own taking care of the guy that caused his demise. His headstone is the mile marker on I-15. You catch my drift?
I didn't think you sold software.
Shut up. Chauncey hasn't had his aerobic shit. Now, our organization financed Paulie Boy's first 2 moving pictures. They must have been good, because they made money.
Didn't see him.
Hey, when I want you to talk, I'll have Chauncey squeeze your throat. He's real motivated after what you did to our steel-belted radials. Now, what we're interested in is the script, The Eradicator. It's starting to look like this little Laura Angel Buns made off with it. Now, you're popping up everywhere, just ahead of everybody else, like some kind of bad bumper sticker. You tell me, is she too scared to negotiate? Chauncey, Squeeze his throat.
Just hold it.
The guy you ought to be asking about all this is Maury Field.
We tried. Morris didn't have much to say when we found him.
You think he knew what was going on?
Hey, K-File, who's got the learner's permit here?
You know, I can start with his legs.
Chauncey's my abbreviator. He shortens people.
Oh, that's good. That's good, because I'm just about long enough today to take you on.
Come on! I've been bashed and threatened all week, and I'm starting to like it.
Come on, look. Chauncey doesn't understand why I want to work something out with you. He'd rather turn you in the cold cuts.
And then you wouldn't find your script.
Absolutely. Look, there's no way I'm going back to Vegas empty-handed. I always deliver. Call it pride in my work. Call it integrity. But my associates believe that you and that doper Dolly teamed up to kill Cesari and grab the script. Now, your girl's she's too scared to negotiate. And you can do something about that. Johnson? When Chauncey breaks something, I pay for it. When we buy a screenplay, we expect to get it. You got 2 days, kid.
Give him the axe. Where? Right on his neck. There. I love this.
Tuesday, Tommy.
With petals of strong stem, love blossoms without end. Love, E.B. Mileage on the 21st, 225. About 50 of it was to make sure I was traveling alone. E.B., the lady with the flowers, Eva Bomberg Cassidy Cesari, Laura.
Like turkey tetrazzini?
Is this how you mourn the passing of Maury Field?
I've done my crying. I don't want to start again tonight, all right?
Whose place is this?
My brother's. Carl built it back when he could walk. What are you thinking? What do you want me to say? How much I cared about Maury? He was the only person, the only man I ever knew who truly wanted to take care of me. Wanted me off drugs, away from Paul.
And with him?
He wanted to keep Paul from completely destroying me.
It's really terrible what Paul did to all you people, without your knowledge.
Look, losing Maury and watching my brother turn into a vegetable all at the same time. I am just not in the mood for a truth session tonight, okay? Tomorrow, please.
Over eggs Benedict.
Rise and shine. You must have called the cops the second we walked out yesterday, kid. Very unneighborly. They take us in like ordinary criminals.
Oh, no, man of your integrity.
Now, when we get downtown with this lieutenant, he says that we were seen at Maury Field's blowaway. So I said to myself, hey, Frankie, by who? By who, Tommy?
By me.
Now, isn't that refreshing, Chance? We ask him, and he tells us. You see how it's done?
Who told you where I was?
I'm dialing information here. I'm dialing information. Now, you two were gonna paddle a canoe into the sunset, but you couldn't get Paulie Boy's blessing. So, poof! No more Paulie.
She didn't kill anybody.
Oh, you really had your head under the covers on this one. What are you trying to tell me? That your little refried cupcake here didn't hurt nobody? Is that what you're saying? Why don't you go back to the Bronx and ask the guy that she pumped 5 rounds of hollowhead mag into, huh? Why don't you go wake him up and see what he has to say?
I had no choice. He had a gun.
You turn him into garbage. You know, she did it for her boyfriend, the street junkie.
She may not be an ice bucket in bed, but with a weapon, this is one chilly lady. Chauncey, do me a favor and bring that painting over here. I never told you this, but I'm an art lover.
What are you taking the silencer off for?
Well, if any of the neighbors do hear this, we're gonna be long gone. And I want the chilly lady to hear, as well as see how we settle out.
If I had that script, I'd give it to you.
Come on, Raymond's putting it back together anyway.
Raymond's typewriter's throwing a rod. There ain't no paper coming out of it. Now, we need that script, and I'm only gonna ask you once. You give me a wrong answer, and that painting's gonna turn red as a stoplight.
Please, for God's sakes, how can I tell you something I don't know? You want me to lie?
No, you're too good at that. Where's the script, sweetheart?
I don't know. I don't.
Well, I guess you don't know either. Listen to that, Chance. It's hanky time. It must be touching, kid, like you were Elvis Presley or something. Untie the lady.
Ow.
So what do we do now?
Well, you see, it's getting kind of late. And it's past my bedtime. And I already miss Johnny Carson. Chance, warm up the car. For what it's worth, I don't know who put away Tarzan.
I didn't think you did know.
No, you didn't. But, you know, if you're so smart, why don't you tell me who did?
Somebody more new and trusted, that's all I can figure.
Ain't that interesting? You folks have a real good evening. The pleasure's been all mine. You got a lovely home. Hey, Chance, you look fresh, man. I think I better drive.
Do you recognize any of this handwriting?
Well, Paul's, some of it. Style changes, though.
Yeah, it's like 2 different people wrote it. Strange story.
About what?
It's about this guy who volunteered for some experiments. They played games with his mind using hypnotism and drugs to mold his personality to fit their purpose.
What purpose? What kind of games?
Killing games. I think this may be what the precious script is based on. Did you ever talk to Paul about the Eradicator, where he got the idea for the film?
No, never.
I'm starting to think that Paul was murdered to stop the film. Now Bando and his body Nazi are trying to squeeze a script out of Raymond. That puts Raymond in between a killer and a hard place.
Raymond hates the script. He'll never write it. Besides, with Paul dead, he's free. I'm gonna make those reservations for Australia today. What do you think? We could just go and leave this all behind us.
What about that guy back in the Bronx? You just gonna forget about him and not clear that up?
He was not a human being. He was a street dealer, destroying hundreds of lives.
And you pronounce judgment?
Yeah.
Where the hell are you?
I'm out in the boonies. What's the matter?
Too bad you didn't tell us a little bit more about these guys.
Wasn't much to tell, Arnold. Just your ordinary movie fans.
How do people like Bando and Chauncey get into business with people like you and Dix Landau?
They were the only firm willing to back Paul before he had his credentials in order. Paul put them together with Dix, Mr. Landau.
Where's Raymond?
In the office.
How did Mr. Landau feel about the rumors that Cesari was shopping around for another agent to represent him?
Paul often threatened to fire people, Lieutenant, to keep them on their toes.
Listen, old boy, I'd buy you a drink, but as you can see, I'm spoiling paper.
Take it you've seen what's parked in front of your house.
What do you think got me started here? Most people receive a morning paper or milk. I get a brace of warm corpses.
The bodygrams inspire you to write scripts you can't stomach?
This version is quite palatable, what it was meant to be. I wouldn't mind having my own name on here, as well as Mr. Sleepwalker's.
Sleepwalker. So it wasn't a loan shark that did the number on my head. What's his real name?
I haven't the foggiest. I only know he claims to be the original author. His phone calls are irrational enough to qualify. This began, you see, with a case study.
What kind of case study?
Psychiatric.
Lieutenant? What did the medical examiner say about the wounds?
Knife thrust up under the sternum, directly to the heart. Quick, certain.
What kind of people know how to cut like that besides surgeons?
Nurses, paramedics, special forces, rangers.
Come on, Lieutenant. I'm taking you downtown. Doctor, I read what I think is Carl's story, The Art of Darkness. It reads like a diary about how he volunteered for special duty with an intelligence agency in the Philippines. It was an experiment using hypnotism and chemical disinhibitors to turn his brain into silly putty so they could mold him into an assassin. But I'm not sure how much of it's true.
That possible?
I regret to say it is.
So it's true that Carl was programmed to kill that guy with the nightclub in Mindanao who was selling arms to the Moro guerrillas?
Yes.
There was a singer in the club, a woman. Carl was gonna marry her. Her name was,
Her name was Francesca. The only person Carl ever trusted.
What happened?
Carl threw a satchel charge into the club, killing her as well as the gun dealer, right?
Right.
Do you think Carl knew that she was in there?
Part of him did know, but the part of him that was programmed to kill didn't care.
Yeah, well, I'd like to see him now.
We do have to verify he's here, Doctor. What's the matter with him, Doctor?
This form of paralysis is known as a hysterical conversion disorder.
And you didn't think he'd be here? I got work to do.
You believe any of this?
We'll check his fingerprints against any we find on the car.
What about surveillance on the Kepler house?
We just had another freeway shooting, Galahad, and another drive-by execution by a street gang. My department is swamped.
Oh, come on.
I'll try to have somebody out there in the morning.
In the morning.
Look, you want to play cop? You go down and hold Kepler's hand.
The last time I got involved with movie people, I went home and I stuck my finger down my throat.
Thank God.
How's Raymond doing?
Still writing. I'm afraid he dug out his old gun. Forgotten he even had one.
Does he know how to use it?
No, but I read the instructions.
Would you please give me the gun before you hurt someone? I cannot understand why Lieutenant Marcus didn't leave an officer here. This is outrageous.
They're stretched pretty thin, Mrs. Kepler. Homicide isn't hurting for business.
How long can you stay?
Only till breakfast, then I have to go. But I don't want to interrupt your writing.
You won't. Here, take this. My wife keeps trying to snatch it away.
Will Bando's company still go along with this? Put up the money?
My wife is the executive producer now. It will be made. Sleepwalker will have the story he intended and the script I originally wrote. I will receive my production bonus, with which I will settle my debts. All very tidy, wouldn't you say?
Happy ending all the way around.
You haven't mentioned how the script reads.
It's like the art of darkness. It's strange. Beautiful. You're even using the woman's real name, Francesca.
Yes. It has a lyrical stature befitting the magnitude of this tragedy.
Does that mean you're going to write the ending the way it really happened?
Why not? She was the only woman he ever loved, the only person he ever trusted. Nothing more tragic than that, is there?
Coffee's cold. I'll make some more. It's Thomas.
Where are you?
But the Keplers.
What about Australia?
If you wait a day, I'll go with you.
Will you?
Yeah.
Oh, Thomas.
Talk to you tomorrow.
Good night, my love. We're gonna wait one more day, Carl. Australia's worth waiting for.
What would you like for breakfast, old boy? Bourbon or scotch?
You finished?
As they say in Hollywood, you've got it. A celebration is in order.
Black coffee, straight up.
And what the devil happened to all my scotch?
Thought they were going to send protection.
Did you get a look at him?
Who?
The guy who did the number on Kepler's car. Did you see him? You're gonna need a crowbar to get in. All the doors have been epoxied, sealed shut.
Did you tell Marcus about this?
He's on his way. I'll be over here.
Why would he do that? I have a case of scotch in there.
Mrs. Kepler! Where'd the story Art of Darkness come from? Who brought it to you?
Paul.
Did you ever meet the author?
No, it was strictly Paul's project.
Next time, you ought to buy American.
better, huh, Carl?
Much better. You were on my target list, kid, until I saw what it would do to Francesca.
Francesca. Carl. You gotta get back to the hospital. You need help.
You sound like Aunt Kepler, so make a hole, kid. Now make it wide, because I'm going to... No, I can do it, kid. So back off. Start walking. Start walking.
I wish you could have known Raymond before he met Paul. He was a writer. This is writing.
Lieutenant Marcus was right, wasn't he? Cesari's contract with your agency was up, and Paulie Boy was moving on to a bigger agency.
They always do after you get them established. What are you implying?
You knew Bomberg was dangerous, because he just hated what had been done to his story. Now, Cesari didn't know how dangerous, because you handled the threatening calls. So you figured out a way to take over Cesari's company if something happened to him. You did. And you have. But the glitch came when Bomberg grabbed the script and came after Raymond. Now, he wouldn't have come after Raymond unless... Was Raymond's name on that script?
Yes.
Why?
I made Paul put Raymond's name on the script. I made Paul give Raymond credit.
You know, your husband is the only real innocent in this whole mess.
Yes. I loved him. I needed him.
Yeah, you needed him to write the sequels to The Eradicator, parts 2 through 5.
No! I loved him!
Lieutenant, you're just in time to hear how much she loved Raymond.
You don't think so? I don't care what you think. I don't give a damn what you think.
What I think, lady, is you paid a visit to Maury Field when you found out he was writing about Cesari. Maury let you read a little bit while he was finishing the last few pages. And when you saw
I don't know what
just
you're
how
talking
much
about.
damage that
I didn't
diary
even know where Maurice was.
You had his address! And when you saw how much damage that diary would cause to your financial backing, the Vegas laundry, you panicked.
That's absurd. Any number of investors could have backed us.
Not after the IRS froze your assets and kept you from becoming head of Cesari Productions.
Just what are you saying?
I'll let ballistics say it. Lieutenant, this is where I came in. I'm leaving her to you.
Mrs. Kepler, you have the right to remain silent. Mrs. Kepler?
What the hell are you doing here?
You told me to water the cat and feed the flowers. I've never seen that before.
Never used it before. Family heirloom. My dad took it off a Waffen SS colonel. Used it in Korea.
Who are you gonna use it on?
Hopefully nobody.
Need any help?
No.
Look, you said I could help you sometime, kid.
No, this isn't the time. Just going home. He's been here, hasn't he? Hasn't he?
I didn't think Carl could hurt anyone. My God, he's been in a wheelchair.
Laura, these are fuses for demolitions. Now, some of them are missing. They go with explosives. He wouldn't keep them in the house. Do you know where they are?
No.
Right, like you didn't know that Paul's script was connected to what your brother had been through, right?
No!
And you don't know how your brother found out what Paulie did to his story. Laura, I have no trouble understanding why you want to protect your brother, but...
Do you believe I love you?
I don't know what to believe anymore. Bando was right. You're too good at lying.
Thomas, I'm talking about a whole new life here.
Here it is, 125 pages of soiled paper by Paul Cesari and Raymond Kepler. Authors of their own demise.
What time's your brother coming?
Laura, where is he? Won't you give me one straight answer? You thought it might be him a couple of minutes ago.
I think he's all right now. He's listening to me.
So then he is out there. Laura, if those fuses mean what I think they mean, he may just feel that his last mission is the only woman he loves.
Me?
Get away from the bag, Carl.
So you traded in your tricycle, kid?
I want to help you, Carl. You get away from the bag, I may have some answers.
Okay. Okay, Doctor. Let me see if I can think of a question. Wish I had my medicine. Like, why was Laura working for moral gorillas? Huh? Can you tell me that one, Doctor?
Carl, no, you're all mixed up. Please just come on in and we can talk.
Carl, you mean Francesca? The singer you were going to marry, the one that died in the Philippines, you remember?
Trying to confuse me? That was Laura. Francesca liked my story. She took it to Paul. So sorry. So everyone would know how you mess with my mind. And then they go and mess with my story.
You did tell him.
Paul said he wanted to tell the truth about what they did to him.
That's your specialty.
Now get away from the bag, Carl! Carl! Carl, you get away from that bag or I'll aim higher.
Carl, do it, please! Please put it down!
I was one patriotic kid, all right? And all they had to do was send me to Nam. Just like they promised. But everybody lies.
And even my sister, she laughs.
No, Carl, I didn't know what Paul wanted.
Got a bomb in that bag. Carl, she wanted your story to be told.
Carl,
Stay back, Laura.
Carl, no, please! Carl!
I didn't want to hurt you, sis. I just wanted to say goodbye.
Carl.
Goodbye.
Bomberg?
Most of it.
Thomas?
I'm Lieutenant Marcus, Mrs. Cesari. Or is it Eva Bomberg now?
Hi there, nephew. How about that desk? Genuine walnut. Now, if you're wondering about the cute little palm tree, you'll be interested to know I found the tree moving company that took mine. They wanted one at Hermosa Drive instead of Hermosa Court. You ready? $12,000 they paid me for my Senegal date palm. That's right, 12 long ones. So you can reach me at the most expensive hotel in, where else? Palm Springs. See you Monday, Thomas.
I guess you really cared about her a lot, huh?
It's easy to love her kind of excitement.
It's too bad.
Nah. I'm not sure I like excitement that much anyway.
Then you probably wouldn't want to hear about the big West swell. Rincon, pumping 8-footers with sets well over 10 feet, smooth as a baby's butt.
Get your board. Throw it in the back of my truck.
What?
Yes. I mean, surfing is a healthy, wholesome outdoor activity.
Not at 10 feet, it ain't healthy. A girl could drown out there.
There's an idea.